Hello, I'm Jim Demo with Clark County Close-Up. Thank you so much for meeting with us. April, what's the role of the Clark County Permit Center?
The role of the permit center is we take in building permits for Clark County. We check them for accuracy so that the permitting process is as smooth as possible for our customers and for land use, plans examiners, wetland habitat, and development engineering groups to review. Our main goal is to assist in the life safety of our community and try to make it as painless as possible.
So what types of permits do you handle?
Um, New home construction, commercial construction, any accessory building, fire permits, legal lot determinations, political signs, commercial signs, ag buildings, road approaches, demo permits. I'm probably missing a whole bunch, but you get the gist. Basically, if you need a permit, it goes through the permit center. Think about I think of the permit center like a wagon wheel with spokes. So we are at the center and we send the documents to the necessary departments. We're the hub for the customers, but we're also the hub for community development.
Okay. So why is it beneficial for the builder and the community to get these permits?
The main reason is life safety and preserving our county, our country, our world environmentally for future generations. I mean, there was a time before building permits that disasters happened and accidents happened, and we learned through time how to make buildings safer for people that occupy them. More importantly, work in them, go to concerts in them, shop in them. And the other side of that is the best use of our resources like land and water to preserve for our future generations. I know people don't like getting permits, but there's a bigger purpose and a good purpose, just like that we have laws to keep us safe.
Okay. Approximately how many permits does your team process annually?
So last year we issued about 8,000 permits or almost 8,000 permits. This year we're close to 6,000 already, and I'm predicting we'll surpass 8,000 permits for 2020 from the
How long
building.
have, how long have you been serving as a permit center manager?
I've been the permit center manager since February of this year, so almost 8 months. I come from retail and an extensive customer service background, and I wanted to bring that customer service focus to the permit center. Again, nobody loves getting a permit, but I can make it as pleasant as possible. I make sure to address all complaints or issues as quickly as I can. I do research to resolve every complaint or issue. I wish taxpayers or the customer could see the heart of my team and this office and the time they put in to find the easiest route for the customer to achieve what they came in for. It's not always possible. We do make mistakes. Heck, I've made mistakes. It's just best to acknowledge it, apologize, and move on. Some of the best lessons that are taught are through mistakes, and I guarantee everyone makes them. But back to that. Yeah, that's my extensive customer service background is what I want to make a difference for.
So speaking about customer service, have you been able to reach out to your customers to get their feedback?
Yeah, so my team and I've started teaching contractors and their teams the best way to submit a good and clean submittal so that you can get a permit faster. I reach out to people that like submit the most permits or submit permits most often and ask their feedback on how I can improve the process. And then by far the best so far is asking my team. My team has great ideas and I just implement them really. Most of the improvement so far has been from just listening, asking questions, and then implementing. We have a weekly staff meeting, and every meeting we try to solve a problem, permits that were tough this week or the big pain point, and get everyone's perspective on how we can solve that issue. It's really a group effort. And I just want to also mention how supportive the building community has been in this process for me. I've made some major changes and could have caused, probably did cause some confusion, but everyone in the county and the community has been understanding of my bigger vision and has helped us along.
Okay. So, as I'm sure you're aware, in the past, there's been some complaints regarding the length of the permitting process. What steps have you taken to speed up the process?
Yeah, so the biggest complaint has been permitting times. And I know I've just been here 8 months, but I think permitting times have been an issue for years. And yeah, so we're a fast growing county and we have been for years. And so that's a contributing factor. But when I started in February, it took about 24 weeks to get through the permitting process. And there are a million reasons for that. Today, though, you can get through the building permitting process in about 4 weeks. There are always one offs, but timeline for 90% of permits is 4 weeks right now. What we've done as a team to make that happen, I was brought in to look at the process. So I started I started how the customer sees it. So I started at the intake process, the first step for the customer. In February, it took 8 weeks just to get an intake appointment. Today, you could get one in about 3 days. And I have a system in place too, to where if that gets too long, I have a backup system for that. I probably don't have time to explain all that the big factors were, all that we did, but customers were making appointments. So one of the biggest issues that I first saw was customers were making appointments and then not showing up to them for to the tune of about 25% of the time. So that was taking appointments from customers and then not being able to utilize the permit text time. So we came up with an appointment reminder system that reduced time, that reduced no shows, so to about 5%, and it stayed about there. I looked at the permit text time all the time, really, with productivity lens. So that's my retail background. And with the team, created a schedule to I scheduled their time to about 15-minute increments. And then in July, we opened to appointments only. So the face-to-face interaction took away a lot of the time suck that is back and forth email communication. And honestly, the submittals are cleaner because we get to have that time with the customer. And they're also easier to review because of that. So they go through the cycle faster. Also with customers, the customers get an hour appointment. So someone is coming in right after you. So if you need more time, we can reschedule that. But productivity wise, we really need that to happen in an hour. We need that process to be an hour. That's our goal. So we get more permits through in a week. And then the other part to this is the permit techs actually do reviews. So we need scheduled time to do those reviews, just like an engineer or a plans examiner. So I scheduled that time in too. This is probably the biggest issue in the permitting process before when we were open to walk-in traffic, because sometimes in the permit center, it was standing room only. And not all the time, so they didn't always have the time to do the reviews that were necessary for them to do. And then the permit time suffered. And so scheduling in the other parts of their job that other people don't see was important. And then lastly, we tried to look at some projects in a day that seemed more simple. So if they were small enough, we could do over-the-counter permits. And we're deciding that right now with the plans examiner at the time as a partner. We're deciding what comes in and if we can get that permit out that day or the next day. And that keeps about 20 files right now out of the date bin, which would clog up the review process.
Wow. So to clarify again, you said that you have, since around February, you have shaved the time from 24 weeks, or your team has, from 24 weeks for the average permit down to 4 weeks. Is that correct?
Yeah. And we've maintained that. So our goal was Labor Day. Our goal was to meet a 4-week intake to issuance goal by Labor Day, and we made it the day before Labor Day. And we've held it ever since. So, the biggest part of that is, can you keep it consistent? And we have been able to so far.
Congratulations. In addition to response time, have you taken steps to improve overall customer service?
Yeah, I think the reduction in permit times is the best customer service gift I can give.
Sure. Yeah.
But I think setting timelines and productivity goals is a great customer service improvement as well. And when we have group discussions about difficult permits, it helps that permit, but with different views coming in, but also the next permit and the next customer with a similar issue. Every week, I remind them that our overall goal is to find a way to issue permits, not to stop them. And also on top of that, we receive about 150 calls and emails a day to our general line. And that's hard productivity wise to schedule in. So when I started, it was taking us about a week to answer all those requests. Today, we do it same day. We try our hardest to answer the phone live, but we do get 150 calls a day, and I only have 9 techs. So that's not always feasible, but we try to.
So you have done all this, your team has done all this in the pandemic. How have you been able to adapt during a pandemic?
Lots of changes, lots of trying new things, which is actually probably one of the most impressive and surprising revelations to me. I have a lot of long-term employees, and they've had the best ideas, and they've been so open to trying new things. I was not expecting that. I was actually expecting pushback because I knew that there had to be changes to make changes, to improve times. We also understand the benefits of having customers in person. So trying our best to maintain that, but also cleaning and keeping us safe at the same time has been very important.
So what do you see as some of the biggest challenges facing the permit center?
The biggest challenges, I think we will be going through e-plan review. So learning a new system and then completely changing the process again. That's going to be a short-term challenge. I think another challenge will be turnover or a labor shortage. I love this team. They are so talented, but some will promote and some will probably move. And so teaching a new permit center employee what a great team we have and how we built it, there's just something about building change with people that makes you connected. And how do I create that same team atmosphere, having to go, but without having to go through the hard. It's like a book without a plot, or a Disney movie without being sad. How do you bond together without all that we've gone through so far?
Now, what about opportunities for your department? What do you see?
Uh, E-plan review is also an opportunity. So it's going to be a challenge at first, but it's going to be magical when it's done. So once we get over teaching the county and the customer, it really is going to be magical and more efficient. And then I think building positive relationships within the community. So staying consistent with times and proving that that is our goal and that is what we want to maintain for the taxpayer. I'm really excited about outreach and teaching the community to make it easier for them and for us. And then there are still so many processes that need to be improved. And how efficient can I actually make this process? How short can I actually make these permit times?
Okay, so you were talking about your customers. So talk to your customers right now. What recommendations do you have for them to take steps prior to the visit to make their process go as quickly as possible?
Be on time for your appointment. You only have an hour, because I have scheduled their times to 15-minute increments. So you have an hour, and most things can be done in that time. We know it. We've proved it. But that's how we've reduced our time. So if you're 20 minutes late, you reduce your time by 20 minutes. I don't have that 20 minutes to give you on the back end. Use your checklists. We have them. We use them to intake your permit. So basically, we're giving you the answers to the test. So if you use the checklist, we're both using the same thing, and you can get the info on the checklist. Like, don't assume that it doesn't apply to you. If you can get the info, get it and bring it to us. It'll make everything smoother. Use GIS. It is your friend and it is free, and it's on our county website. So it just will give you so much information. A lot of the training that I've been doing so far has been on GIS. And then lastly, a good plot plan is like good ingredients to a recipe. So GIS can give you all the information you need. And when we say we need it on the plot plan, we do.
Okay, so if people want more information about the county permit center or getting ready to come in, where can they check?
Oh, we on our website at clark.wa.gov, /community development /permit services or permit center. And then, or, you can try to see if you can get a live person at 564-397-4078.
Well, April, thank you so much for meeting with us and good luck with this continued process.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.